How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffle and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Now, today we have a long video. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm still a bit sick, hence why my eyes looks totally red right now and just tired. And yeah, so just so you know, if I sound weird or my voice sounds crackly, it's because I'm still sick. Sometimes I may have to mute because I need to cough. This video is going to be long because what do we have today? Well, basically, Junichi Masuda did a interview about Let's Go's difficulty, mechanics, and the future of the series. Like, really important stuff. You can also see here, this is all thanks to PokeExperto that I'm doing this video because he actually, like, brought all this up. So he said here, according to another interview with Junichi Masuda, what needs to be done after, he talks about what needs to be done after the main adventure of Let's Go is 151 coaches or masters, whatever, Pokemon, 151 Pokemon in the decks, and 151 reasons to wait until 2019, which I don't know what that even means. Like, I don't even know what he's on about that, but let's just go into the full interview and see what it's all here, guys, because it's a long one, you know, there's a lot of information here, and I guess it's all from the interview with Junichi Masuda here, so it's a long one, guys, so sit back, relax, have yourself a beverage, and let's get right into this. And also, by the way, if you want to read this on your own, I'm going to, of course, leave the links down below as per usual, but if you just want to sit here and listen to somebody else explain everything to you, and kind of just read through it for you, then you are welcome to sit down and watch this video. So let's get started now. Junichi Masuda on Let's Go difficulty, mechanics, and the series' future. I'd be really sad to think that, for fans, Pokemon is just hatching eggs. Oh, no. Masuda, you're already pissing me off with that one right there. You're already pissing me off with that one. It's not about hatching eggs. The reason why we do hatch eggs is so we can get better Pokemon, so we can have more fun in other parts of your game, like the Wi-Fi battles. Or we hatch eggs to get shiny Pokemon, because it's a part of the journey. Once you're done with the story, once you're done with, like, the general gameplay, that's it, right? You're done with that. The fun then comes from the other stuff, right? Because once you're done with the story, you're kind of done with it. You don't really care about what happens, you know. I mean, you do care about what happens next, but the thing is the Pokemon stories aren't really connected directly. Like, there is indirect connections, right? But there is no, like, flowing storyline that goes through it. Like, you know, hypothetically, let's take like, I don't know, some shitty connection, right? Like, Uncharted, oh, no, it's not a shitty one, but Uncharted, right? Uncharted is like it's a flowing story, right? It continues through each iteration, so to say. You know, maybe there are a few connections here and there, but this just makes no sense. I'm sorry. I went on the sideline here. So, 2 decades on from Pokemon Red and Blue's arrival here in the West, we're going back to Kanto once again. Pokemon Let's Go have made big changes, some proving more popular than others in the lead up to its release. But there's still a lingering sense that with just the first generation of Pokemon available in the first region, we've seen it all before. A couple of weeks ago, alongside the extended hands-on preview of Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, we talked to Junichi Masuda, executive director and head of the game development at Pokemon's main studio, GameFreak, as well as fellow designer Kensaku Nabana, about some of the nitty-gritty details fans are always after, including how the whole Melton reveal came about, HMs, and the perpetual questions of difficulty, open world, and the series' future. So, it's been 20 years since the release of Pokemon Red Blue in the West, 19 here in Europe, so first of all, congratulations. Was the anniversary one of the main reasons you chose Let's Go in the Kanto region as a retelling of Pokemon Yellow? And then Junichi goes into it. So it actually was more that one of the main targets of these games is kids. Of course, I mean, we know it's the main target of theirs, like, we've known it for a long time, but whatever. We haven't had the opportunity to play Pokemon Go, because, you know, they don't have a smartphone. Again, I've already made the argument, at least here in Europe, for them, I mean, not all of Europe, but, you know, kind of like, first world countries, right, tend to do have, you know, smartphones and that sort of stuff, so I don't really see that as a great argument. I see it, again, I get it, right, not everybody has an iPhone, or a smartphone, Android, Samsung, whatever it may be, not everybody has it, but a lot of people do, and, you know, if a lot of people didn't have it, then Pokemon Go wouldn't have 11 million active daily users, right? You know, just trying to put it into perspective for you. And also, like, I don't know what the peak was of their main, like, player base, but that's besides the point. And we thought that amongst all of the previous Pokemon games up until now, the one that's the most relatable to kids like this would be Pokemon Yellow. So you have Pikachu, of course, as the main feature in these games, and you have Team Rocket, who appears in a lot of the anime as well. And so, if we're reimagining this game, we're reimagining Pokemon, we're reimagining Pikachu for modern audiences. We thought that Pikachu, the Pokemon Yellow, will be kind of the easiest for everyone to relate to, everyone to understand, and then actually we only noticed afterwards that it would be the 20th anniversary of the release of the game, so we thought, oh great, that lines up very nicely. Okay, so at the time, of course, you had the pixel art, all in black and white and monocolor, but with the new games, so we have the television, which is one of the main ways to play, and you're kind of looking at it from quite close up and seeing the kind of high quality graphics there. So we want people to experience the difference between the first very simple pixel art and the new high graphics on the big television screen. And then they continue to ask him here, so would you say that this is the definitive version of Kanto? Is it close to what you or Game Freak imagined when you were first making it back then? So this time around, obviously we're making these games. We're making a game that will be played a lot in the living room on the big television, as we mentioned, and the setting of the story is the Kanto region, which is a region in Japan which is known for, or strongly associated with, summer, or having a nice kind of summer atmosphere. This is something that we were always aware of when making this game, and also the fact that we didn't want to make it in any way a scary game. We wanted to the image to be kind and friendly graphics, things like that. But in terms of things that we've been able to do this time, we weren't at the time. So, you know, we couldn't have everyone coming together playing the game in the living room, so you had to kind of play it individually at the time of the original games. But this time around, there's various ways you can enjoy it. You know, you could have friends coming over to your house playing, you know, 1 player and 2 player mode, support play, throwing the Pokeball. You know, there's all sorts of aspects that we were kind of able to successfully with creating this time around, and it feels like it was easy this time. But at the time of the original games, it was impossible to do, so it's a big difference. Now, he didn't really like answer the question. They were asking if this was the definitive version of Kanto. Is this the Kanto? So does this kind of like tell us that like they maybe like, because his answer is really vague, if I'm going to be honest. It's just kind of like, you know, we weren't able to do this in the past, which nice that we can do it now, right? And it's just like, okay, but the question was, is this the definitive, is this the Kanto that you wanted from back in the past? Or, you know, I mean, he kind of gives that way, said very like, I don't know. But either way, so, you know, he does kind of elaborate on it, but like, it's besides the point. It's not an important point in general. So let's continue. So you mentioned not wanting Kanto to be scary, and I know you've talked about Pokemon, and Let's Go in particular, being accessible to new players. Are there still puzzles and challenges, like the strength puzzles in caves, or have you moved away from that entirely now? So, when we tried to think about how kids these days generally play games, what came to mind was mobile games. Oh my god, literally, it's not even a joke anymore. It's not, I'm sorry, my throat is killing me, but it's not even a freaking joke. They literally used mobile gaming. It's not even a meme anymore. You know that image of that of when people put like a buy gems here, and that like oh, here's some ads and stuff, you know, like from how it looks like on a mobile game when you play a mobile game, right? Literally, that meme isn't a joke anymore. That's literally what they went with. That's like their mindset when making this game. That's not good, okay? No offense. I hate mobile games. I'm only okay with Pokemon Go because, in all fairness, the only reason I play it right now is just for Let's Go. Just so I can have Pokemon ready so I can set it up to Let's Go. And the only time Pokemon Go is good for me is because it's good to move around, right? Because I'm a fatty, so it's good for me to take my big ass outside and actually do a little bit of like walking and like losing some of this fatty off me, right? In that sense, I think it's useful. But mobile games are awful. There's a reason I never played them on my phone ever, or like I just use my phone for Twitter and shit. Like I never touch mobile games. And I think majority of us try to avoid them unless you're like a, I don't know, like one of those Facebook moms, right? Or like literally like my mom, she plays mobile games. It's just, I'm just like, yeah, good for you. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, really, come on, seriously, this is like the worst thing, like this is the worst mindset you could have in mind when making a game, to base it off of mobile games. That's like going down the EA route, okay? I'm sorry, that shit pisses me off. I don't care what it is. As soon as you mention mobile games, and that's what you were thinking about when making your game, to me, that's a red flag like no other. That's a major red flag. Hell nah from me. Okay, let's continue. Games which you play for a short time, and perhaps you'll be moving between various games pretty quickly. So if it was a game that kind of takes about 2 hours to get into, we thought that perhaps people might be getting a bit bored and then decide to move on to a different game. So back in the day, even playing in the virtual console version of the original Pikachu version, it might take you, you know, 30 hours, 40 hours to kind of complete or progress significantly in the game. And in this age, with so many games to choose from, we thought that we'd rather make something that was easier to progress through and kind of tailor that playstyle to how we think that the playstyle has evolved over the years. Oh my freaking god, he's literally turning Pokemon into a mobile game. They're literally turning... Masuda, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of you anymore, man. I'm not a fan of you. Your mindset is literally the mindset of EA. Like, that's literally where you are. Because that's what EA is doing with, like, Battlefield, right? They don't want you to, like, you know, spend a lot of time in the game, you know, like, grinding, right? Like, even like, you know, whatever it may be, like World of Warcraft as well, right? They don't want you to sit there and, like, grind in the way you think of grinding. Like, you know, oh, I want to have fun and do a bunch of stuff and, you know, explore a giant world, spend a lot of time, like, whether it be 10 hours, 30 hours, 40 hours, whatever it may be. You know, I want to spend a long time playing this game and having fun with different things, right? But they artificially limit you. In World of Warcraft, they artificially limit you because, like, oh, you want to progress in this area? Well, you gotta do a bunch of these artificial things that you can only do once a day, right? Like world quest and shit. You gotta do these, you can only do these once a day or whatever. So, you know, you're limited to a certain amount every day, and those things are boring and artificially inserted, so they're not actually fun things to do. They're just kind of a hassle, right? And here right now, he is proving to me, by the words he's saying, he's proving to me that clearly they don't give a shit. They don't, like, this makes me really pissed off right now. I'm sorry, but this just grinds my gears. And I'm hoping to God that, like, when we get to the 2019 part in this article, that it's gonna be different. Because I swear to God, if this is all we're getting, I'm not on board. I am boycotting the shit out of this game if they don't give me some good info in 2019. If 2019 game has the same mindset that he mentioned right here, then no, just big no-no for me for Let's Go. Because straight up, that is a bad mindset. When you're thinking mobile games, making a console game, you know you done goofed. Okay, so, Junichi Matsuda, in the same way, okay, so here we go. In the same vein, back in the day, there wasn't any kind of mechanic where you could run anywhere in the games. But now, of course, with the 3D map, you can go diagonally. You can go whichever way you want. You can run. It's faster to actually get around. And with that Pokemon appearing in the field as well, you can choose whether you want to catch the Pokemon or whether you want to avoid them altogether. So you're kind of, you know, bending the will of the player here, and giving them more options to choose the way to play that's most fun to them. What would you say to those players that are crying out for a bit more of a challenge? Maybe adult players who've been playing for these 20 years or who've got into it a bit later. Should they wait for next year's RPG? And he said, so you know, to those kind of fans, we'd mentioned the catch combo mechanic, whereby you catch the same Pokemon multiple times in a row and get various rewards and benefits. Listen, that's not a challenge. That's just not a challenge. Listen, that's not a challenge, okay? Throwing Pokeballs is not a challenge. It's just throwing Pokeballs. That's the end thing you do when battling Pokemon, right? Because, see, that's the issue, right? The reason why we want to battle wild Pokemon is because that's the challenge, right? You battle the Pokemon, you earn the right to catch that Pokemon. You don't just throw Pokeballs at it like an asshole out of nowhere without actually challenging it. You actually challenge it, and that's how you earn the right to catch it, because you weakened it. Now you've shown your dominance over this little thing, and you can catch it, right? That sounds wrong when I say it, I'm sorry. But like, God, my head hurts. But no, that's just, no, okay, no. Okay, so Kensaku Nabana says here, also the post-game content as well, in particular the master trainers. So these are trainers who are kind of the ultimate trainers of a specific Pokemon, which I'm fine with. I actually like this idea of like these ultimate trainers which you take on for, you know, rewards or whatever. That would be awesome. I'm on board for that, as long as they're not just like, you know, oh, let's just reuse like an ace trainer here for like a fire person, like with a Charmander or something. Like, come on, you know what I mean? But that's just me. Like, either way, so you will challenge them, and then get their title for that Pokemon. So you become the master of that Pokemon if you manage to beat them in battle. So do you take his Pokemon, or am I missing something? I'm really not on board here. But, because he says you become the master of that Pokemon. Does it just do you get that title only, or, because it says title, and then it's like, okay, I don't know, either way. So for me, my favorite Pokemon is Psyduck. So I'd be training my Psyduck amazingly, and then would challenge a Psyduck Master, and then gain the Psyduck Master title. And that's something you can do to put a lot of effort and a lot of time into. If I really wanted to create a challenge for myself, and these Master Trainers exist for all the 151 Pokemon in the games, so, you know, if you wanted to collect all the titles, then that's something you can really challenge yourself with. Okay, but again, that's not enough, right? No offense, but that's just like, again, that's just like an artificial thing. It just feels like if these trainers aren't unique, then there is no reason for me to, you know, feel like they're worthwhile taking on. If they're just basic looking trainers with no uniqueness to them, and all I get is a title, which I'm fine with, because in World of Warcraft, you know, there's kind of that similar thing going on. But if that's the only thing, then I'm a bit disappointed. But again, I'm still like very on this like the ID. I'm still a little bit of like 50-50. I'm gonna be honest, because I kind of like the idea of taking on trainers that are stronger and getting their titles and stuff. But if they're just kind of boring trainers, like the same characters that you see all around the game, and they'll maybe have like a specific outfit or maybe some colors or something, doesn't have to be like an actual full-on new model, just a different outfit maybe a little bit, or like some different colors. Either way, so does that cover all the post-game content, or is there more? Is there any sort of story-based content that after a mainline questline? So, you know, this is obviously based on the yellow version, so in addition to the Master Trainers in the post-game, there's always the challenge of completing the Pokédex. That's just Pokemon. Complete the Pokédex is just Pokemon. That's just, you know. And not just the in-game contents. We'd like players to also do challenges themselves when meeting up with friends and just trading Pokemon from both versions to complete the Pokédex. Now, that's not a challenge, right? Trading with friends, it's not a challenge. I think that the word challenge here is getting a little bit misconstrued, because a challenge is not you trading with your friends. Me trading with a friend is, hey dude, you want to give me that give me that Charmander real quick, and then he'd be like, hey, yeah, but you give me that Pidgey boy, and I'd be like, hey, it's all good, man, here you go. You know what I mean? Like, that's not challenge. That's just you trading with people. How can that conceivably in your head be a challenge? Let's continue. Sure, and I know you haven't talked much about this yet, but is there any possibility that there would be a national Pokédex beyond 151 from Kanto? Or any plans to add Pokemon from other generations? So, not right now. Well, kind of. Or what we're looking forward to most right now is how the game is received. We'll see if its reception amongst the players, all the players, and really we just, so right now, players should become the trainer. Throw the Pokeballs, achieve that dream that everyone should be having, including myself, and you know, it's everyone's dream to become a Pokemon trainer, whatever, and you know, take up your Pokeballs and get going. So he didn't even answer the question. He was just kind of like, it was like, maybe, you know, they're gonna check how much they sell. If they sell a lot, they're gonna give it to us as DLC, which is what I was worrying about. I don't want Pokemon DLC. Please don't do Pokemon DLC. I just don't want that to happen, man. So you mentioned briefly those HMs like strength is becoming something that's changed pretty much with every game. Do you feel like you've settled on an implementation of them with Let's Go, with the fan-focused things like surfing Pikachu and flying Pikachu with the balloons? So yeah, this is something that's really tricky every time with every new game. We kind of ask ourselves, well, what would you want your Pokemon to be able to do? And this time, because we had the partner Pokemon, that was always without you. That was always with you throughout the game. You know, you were, he says a lot of like, you know, you were able to have them have these secret techniques that only your partner can learn. But you know, when it comes to the new or future generations, that will be up to the developers of those games to decide exactly how it's implemented. These hidden machines. Laughs. It's a bother every time. It really is difficult. So sometimes, you know, players, you become unable to progress in the game or kind of stuck somewhere. It's really bothersome, but it would be a bit boring if we just had the players push the blocks themselves. So do you see the future where you just don't have HMs at all and just another system to manage how players progress? It's not really like a technical issue that we have with these. It's just like, you know, if you teach a Pokemon surf and then you go out to an island, then you have your Pokemon forget surf and then you're stuck on that island. What are you supposed to do with that? It's just every time it's the same type of problem. Like, how can you solve that issue? So if that were the case, then the players would just have to be swimming across the ocean themselves, carrying their Pokemon, and you're like, well, am I the Pokemon, or is my Pokemon the Pokemon? It would get confusing. So I can agree with that. I can kind of see his point there. I understand that. From a technical point, I get that. That's no problem. There's nothing wrong with these points out here. HMs being removed, I'm fine with that. I'm okay with them being replaced. Okay, so something else I wanted to talk about on a completely different topic was Melton. It had a really unusual reveal. It was really exciting for us to try to figure out what was going on the day when it was discovered in the network traffic of Pokemon Go, shortly before it appeared in-game. Was that a leak, or was that intentional? So reveal disguised as a leak intentionally to get people excited. That was planned. Okay, you say so. Actually, I'm just messing. So actually, yeah, we tried really hard on this one. We didn't even tell company players, so even some of us were surprised when this came out as well. So only a few people know about the plan in advance, so it was really well kept secret. So I normally don't really post on Twitter things about new Pokemon or Pokemon that are featured or more often encountered in Pokemon Go on specific days. But on the day Melton was released, it was Community Day, and there was a Chikorita that was the Pokemon of the day. And the 50 minutes before Melton was set to be released, I tweeted, "Oh, everyone, hurry up and catch a Chikorita. You've only got 15 minutes left," which was out of the ordinary. Okay, we'll make a point of paying more attention to your tweets. We already are, okay? We're already, like, people are, like, we're literally camping his tweets, so let's be fair. Though, let's hope that he's not the person who's behind the 2019 game. I'm really hoping. Let's go as his like, his magnum opus, right? That's his game. That's his little cherry on top, right? So, let's pray to God that the next games, 2019, are made by a different lead developer, or lead designer, sorry. Like I said, I'm still sick, so I always get, like, my throat is just killing me. So, we'll make the point of paying more attention to your tweets. So, when you decide to reveal it in that way, as far as I know, it's never been done this way before. Particularly with it being the first being available in a non-mainline game. When was that the first thought up, and whose idea was it to do that anyway? So in terms of who made the decision, it was the Pokemon Company Incorporated's PR team. So now we know, guys, leaks are planned by them PR dudes over there at the Pokemon Company, right? No, but I think like they center of the network traffic probably knew it was going to be, you know, seen, and then just literally the day after shoved it into Pokemon Go to mess with us, and that was their PR move, right? Create hype, right? Leaks create hype. They know that. It's just something that's happening a lot in, like, it's just, I really hope that, like, it doesn't become a commonality with them, that this is the way they do it, because the fun with the leaks is that it's usually somebody from the inside doing it, like, you know, without permission, right? This was planned, which means that this was just, again, a PR move, which is a little bit disappointing. Again, it's besides the point. I don't know. I don't want to get too much into that. So in terms of who made the decision, and also myself, who got together and started talking about it. And really, we were thinking about how we wanted people to first lay eyes on Melton, what kind of, and how to kind of make it appear like a cute Pokemon right from the start. So some people might look at it, if it were handled the wrong way, as, oh, it's like a gross Pokemon, but they had it appear in Pokemon Go, kind of moving around, doing its thing, and then, you know, people would be like, oh, what's this now? And we thought that that was the best way to kind of have Melton first appear to the world. I agree. When I first saw Melton, which, by the way, we did see Melton for the first time as just a model through the network. Let's be honest, it looked really dumb. Now I'm warmed up to it because I think its eye is really cute as it moves around. It looks just like a little chubby little, you know, piece of goo with like a cute eye. It's just adorable a little bit, right? Still looks dumb. It really looks dumb, really stupid, but it's also cute, so I can't deny that. So, can you ask how we catch it yet? So, well, this info will actually be released on the 10th of October, but, you know, we'll tell you now, you're under embargo, so, you know, don't go talking about it at the bar or whatever. Okay, so after you transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Let's Go, you receive a mystery box in Go. Then if you open that box for a limited time, you'll be able to encounter Melton. Is it possible to transfer Melton back to Let's Go? Yes, via the usual method, okay. Wait, and is there only one that you have, so it's either Go or Let's Go, or can you have multiple and have it in both? You can have loads of Melton at once. It is the basic answer, but as you know, this is the first time that we've had a Pokemon make its debut in a game that's not the main series games, but Pokemon Go, so it's pretty special. Okay, so thanks for answering that, even if I can't say it until everyone already knows. So last time we spoke, back at the Let's Go reveal in Japan, the topic of open world Nintendo Switch games came up, like Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey, and you mentioned that there's a possibility that one day Pokemon might follow suit. I know that, that's purposefully vague, but is this still something that's being considered? Is that something that you see one day happening on the Switch? And then it continues here. Well, you know, in general, I always wanted to be kind of facing new challenges and trying to, you know, do new things with Pokemon. You know, it's a different matter whether players will actually enjoy that kind of playstyle. We will! That's what we're asking for. Just give it to us. Okay. But really, you know, things like setting up an AI so that, you know, real-world Pokemon appear, or different ways to appreciate the game. I'm always kind of thinking how to approach the Pokemon series from different aspects. So in that sense, it's still on the cards. God damn it! Yeah, we're not getting it. We're not getting it open world. Either way, so I always want to quickly ask about the Pokemon that are available in the game, like those which are related to Kanto but not the original 151, like Pokemon like Igglybuff or Magmortar that tie into the first generation Pokemon. What was the reasoning behind leaving those out? So, kind of the basis of it, is that in the first generation that there aren't any Pokemon eggs. So, when we thought about how would these Pokemon be hatched in the first place, it kind of didn't make any sense. But also, we wanted to spend more time and put more effort into making the Kanto Pokemon, the original 151, as well made as possible, and expressing them as well as we could. Though you kind of, fair enough, I see that point. Sure, and does it suggest that you have, they have one eyeball on another Let's Go style game set in Johto? So, maybe if everyone enjoys playing these games, but, more than that, I know that a lot of people and fans have spent a lot of time hatching eggs. They've hatched a lot of eggs, but we wanted to kind of discover new ways to enjoy Pokemon games. I'd be really sad to think that for them, Pokemon is hatching eggs. So with this one, we're trying to show them a different side of games. Are you really just... He's essentially this... he's essentially telling you... This is... Okay, now this is just me making a hyperbole statement here, okay? So don't take this as literal. But to me, this sounds like he's telling you that you're playing the game wrong. That's what he's telling you. He's essentially telling you that you're playing Pokemon wrong. The way you play Pokemon is not the way that I think Pokemon should be played, and I feel like you should play Pokemon the way we set it up for you, right? If we make a Pokemon Let's Go, you should play the way we think of it. That's why we don't have hatching eggs and that sort of stuff, which again, like you said, wasn't really a Kanto thing, but again, it's kind of become a thing over time in Pokemon games, so, I don't know, man. So, finally, I know you can't talk about any specifics just yet, so what I want to know is when you can start talking about the 2019 RPG. Sometime next year. Yeah, great. Sometimes we include... Okay, so I think that is... Oh, man. I don't know. So, this is really... Again, I don't know. I don't agree with the comments down there with... this is what... They're doing a great thing with Pokemon. Now, again, right? It's understandable what they're doing here. I get it, right? It's supposed to be for kids. But this idea that Pokemon... That it's wrong to these... Wait, so... To begin with, right, their idea of a challenge is clearly not aligned with the actual concept of a challenge, right? Their idea of a challenge is trading Pokemon. How is that a challenge? That's just an essential part. Again, they're using essential parts of Pokemon as like an argument towards like, this is difficulty. If you're looking for difficulty, this is difficulty, right? You don't know what you're talking about, this is difficulty. Which to me just sounds like, really, man, come on, dude. Really, come on, please. But again, to me this sounds a little bit ludicrous. They didn't answer the definitive version thing. They're clearly up to do DLC if this makes enough money. So that's why I'm worried about Let's Go making too many sales, which really worries me because I don't want Let's Go Johto. I really don't want Let's Go Johto, man. Because that's just gonna be wasted time. Them taking resources over to another game, making another freaking remake. No, I love Johto, okay? I love Johto. But I don't want Let's Go Johto. I don't want you to taint the glory of that region. Because we already have Johto in its perfect form. In its perfect form. In Hard Gold, Soul Silver. Its perfect form. Don't mess with it. Please don't go to Johto again. Let's just leave Johto where it is. Let's mess with other regions. Let's go to just Sinnoh as a remake, right? Let's just do that. Please don't mess with Johto. It's my favorite region. Please don't mess with it. Just leave it alone. Don't give it the same treatment you're giving Kanto and just like milking the shit out of it. Just don't do it, okay? Just don't. Stay away from it. That's all I'm asking. So, again, to me, his idea of a challenge is just beyond... It's just stupid, man. I don't agree. I don't agree with majority of the stuff. Again, the HM stuff, I agree with that. Yeah, I get it. It's a challenge. It's on a technical level. It's you gotta figure out a way to do it properly. So that I'm fine with. But again, a lot of this stuff, it just sounds very ludicrous to me. I don't know, guys. Either way, I think I'm a little bit heated right now. I really think I'm going to do a bit more of an objective look on this in my videos on this weekend, which I'm doing about the problems of Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and also a video about the positives of Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. I'm a little bit less on the positives now, but... hey, at least we got to take a look at this interview, which, yeah, this video's been pretty long, guys. So I want to thank you real quick for watching this video. I apologize about my coughing, all this stuff. It's just like my throat is killing me, so I do apologize about that, guys. Either way, I still hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then drop a like down below, and I will catch you all the next time. Bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.